And welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever, presented by the Sideshow Network, the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in the world that just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
And we've got two more insane issues this week. Another DC, another Marvel.
Are these fresh?
This first one is.
Is it really? Did we just buy this?
I just bought that. Yeah, I just bought that when we went to Pasadena.
That's right. Okay.
I don't know about the Quasar.
No, the Quasar's not fresh. Quasar, I think, might have came from...
Is this a fresh worst collection ever?
Semi-fresh.
So you know what's really funny about that? The old previews for the WB, instead of saying new episodes, they used to say fresh episodes. So it'd be like, on a fresh Gilmore Girls.
No.
On a fresh One Tree Hill. I don't know why that was their thing, but it was. It was like, fresh Gilmore Girls.
It's like a head of lettuce.
Yeah. Hasn't rotted in the sun yet.
A non-wilted Gilmore Girls on a fresh Wayans Brothers. On a fresh, what I was going to say.
I'm trying to remember what else was on that network.
Was Happily Ever After on there? With Nikki Cox? You remember that show?
No.
You don't remember that show?
No. I have no recollection of that show.
It was very much a ripoff of Married with Children. If you've seen it, it was the thing. It was like, but the focuses on the characters were a bit different. Like the main girl, Dickie Cox, was like the Kelly Bundy of the show, and she was like the focus of the show.
Oh no, I never saw it.
And she, and then the father and the they had the kid, and there was also Bobcat Goldthwait voiced a bunny named Floppy, and the
like
father,
an animated bunny.
No, like a bunny puppet that would only talk to the father on a couch, but nobody else would see it. Like the bunny would just lay there, like flopped out. But like when the father was by himself, he would talk to the bunny, which was voiced by Bobcat. I think
you know what? I'm glad I don't remember that. Are you sure that wasn't a fever dream you had?
No. It's a show. It was definitely a show.
Are you sure?
It was definitely a show that I watched.
That wasn't a dream you had at one time?
It was...
After, like, watching a Bobcat movie?
No. This was, I want to say 98?
Nope. Don't remember it.
Yeah. It was just after Married with Children, I think, wrapped. And then that was the show. Yeah, but it was on, I think it was on UPN or WB. It was on one of the two. It really, to be honest, there was no difference.
No.
But
there was. Not any different.
Fresh New Smallville. Well, that was on UPN too, right? Or no, that's WB.
That was WB. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember if it was CW or WB.
No, it was WB because CW was much years later. Maybe it did both.
Maybe
it did both because
I feel like it did because Smallville. I feel like
Smallville was on for like decades.
Oh, it was on for like 11 seasons or something stupid. Maybe not. Maybe 9, but it was still on for a long fucking time.
I'm sorry. I just got an app from. So I just got this notification from my DC app, and it says
no. I bet they do.
It's like it says Batman v Superman photos get intense, and for a second, and no, here's the thing. For a second, I didn't see what it said, and I thought it says Batman v Superman get married.
That makes sense.
But it's like
that's really what all the advertising looks like. They're just standing there staring at each other, just like looking longingly into each other's eyes. I don't know if it's the same in other cities, but it is really, the advertising for Batman v Superman is really intense here in LA.
Well, like, that's how
it's on everything.
Well, it's like the Minions advertising.
Yeah, it's bad. The only thing I haven't seen is Batman's stupid face on a banana yet, but I'm sure I will.
He should be on some Tic Tacs. That'd be great.
He should be. He should be on a fucking bottle of water. He's on Doritos, but I'm on a Dorito strike because they're horrible Super Bowl ads.
What kind, are they special Batman flavored Doritos?
Yeah, they just taste like sweat and sadness.
But I'm not saying, but are they it's like Gotham barbecue Doritos?
Yeah, it just tastes like dirt. It's like dirt mixed with barbecue.
Because Gotham is known for its barbecue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you think Gotham, you think barbecue.
What do you think Gotham's known for? Probably fish, right? Probably chowder.
I assume so. Because it's up towards that area.
Yeah, it's in the Northeast.
It's in the Northeast somewhere.
It's like what was that? Legal Seafood?
Yeah. Oh, God, Legal Seafood's terrible.
Fucking overrated.
It really is overrated and overpriced.
Yeah, no, it's tremendously overrated, overpriced.
Yes.
Anyways, so
yeah, we're not talking about those things.
No,
we're supposed to be talking about comic books.
No, we are talking about comic books, but we're not talking about the right ones. We're talking about the ones we read this week. First of which is the Rann Thanagar Holy War. Jesus Christ. Number 3 of 8 from September 2008. This is actually a very recent book for us.
It really is. And I just saw the name and I was like, I have to buy this.
Well, first of all,
this is bullshit.
Okay, here's the thing. So first of all, I was going to do some research on why they're fighting, and
then you said fuck it,
and then I just decided not to
because nobody cares why they're fighting.
Because this is people one of the most unnecessary books I've ever read. I mean, the unnecessary. It's a miniseries, so it wasn't going to be around forever.
No.
And what's really weird too is that Jim Starlin wrote it. Ron Lim is the artist. You know, very talented people with very good track records.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jim Starlin known for
many things,
so many great things that I enjoy. You know, particularly Adam Warlock. Mm-hmm. I think it's the creation of Adam Warlock and just all that. You know, I mean, him and his Silver Surfer, like the Infinity Gauntlet. Ron Lim, you know, known for his work on such books like that. You know, his Marvel work. And so here they are in DC doing, you know, a cosmic saga of sorts.
But like with characters that like are so obscure that's it's questionable who they are at some point.
Well, you still don't, yeah, because you don't even know. And it's funny because I think you think that, you know, we would do some more research here.
No.
And I was going to try to find out who that purple girl is.
Oh, you still don't know?
Well, I think it's
I don't know who the fuck she is.
I have a few either it's Alana, who is Adam Strange's girlfriend.
Sure.
That might be her. Or it's somebody from the Legion.
I feel like her name's Alana.
And then it's Alana. Yeah, it's got to be Alana then, because that's his girl. That's okay. So on the cover,
yes, it
just says Rand Holygar, whatever, Holy War, whatever. It's bullshit. Right. And you got a guy who I thought was Darkseid.
Oh, that's not Darkseid.
No, but that's not Darkseid.
Oh, I thought that was Darkseid too.
No, because I mean, well, there's a villain later in the book who, you know, has that similar face, but that's not Darkseid.
I also made the mistake to think that was Darkseid.
And I was like, if Darkseid would have this book, it would be much better, actually.
No. Not Darkseid. Guy who looks like Darkseid.
Darkseid Jr.
Darkseid Jr. There's an Animal Man.
You have Animal Man here, which
Starfire. Which Animal Man doesn't do anything in this book.
Well, here's the thing. This is during the period where like Animal Man. Oh, Clang.
Sorry.
We can't have nice things.
No, this is why we yell into a laptop. We can't be trusted with actual equipment.
So Animal Man's there, and this is like during this period where it's like the last days of Animal Man or something. Something's going on where he ends up in space. Like it's after it's after he came over from Vertigo, and he ends up in space hanging out with like Adam Strange and Starfire. Mm-hmm. There's a reason behind it. I don't know. I just haven't bothered to really look it up. And I like Animal Man, so I'm curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Starfire's there. Tigor from the fucking Omega Man is here.
Yes. I don't know who that guy is.
That's Adam Strange.
Adam Strange, and then
Captain Comet.
I don't know who the fuck Captain Comet is.
He's some asshole that was around back from I think the Quality Comics days, or he Charleston, or so he had some. I think he was an acquired character,
okay.
Or he was somebody from like a golden age that they brought back a few times. Like he's done some stuff like on DC Comics Presents. You know, like you've seen, like he's been around in other stuff. Like they did a Secret Origins for him, and The Weird. That's the name.
Weird.
His name is The Weird. And if you don't know who The Weird is, you probably are correct, because The Weird is also a random character that was had a mini series back in like the late 80s. And I don't recall him being in anything else other than this book we're reading right now.
Yeah.
This series right now. So
I knew of him, but I'm trying to remember from what.
Because you would read books.
Probably because somebody mentioned.
No, you know why? Because you probably would read books, Marvel, DC books from like the late 80s, and you would see the ad and it would just be like The Weird, whatever.
Right.
And I think Jim Starlin also wrote that too. Again, I'm not looking this up, but I'm assuming he had a hand in that.
Yeah.
So hence he's like, yeah, I'll throw him in here.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we start off with Adam Strange getting slapped around. And this is really a weird device that they use in this book to tell you where they are.
Yeah.
They just have these big banners. It just tells you where they are, they are, like what planet they're on. So here it says Rann. So we're in Rann.
And he's getting beat up by what I assume are Thanagarians.
Thanagarian soldiers.
Yeah, but they've got, instead of wings, they've got like swords on their backs.
The flying swords.
Flying sword things. And there's that weird guy.
Yeah, he has a name too.
We'll figure it out. So he's getting smashed in the face. And then we go back to what's called Throne World.
Wait, is this the next page?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, that jumps right to there. Huh.
So it says Throne World. And this is probably my favorite panel of the entire book. Apparently Bizarro showed up at Throne World, where I don't know where the fuck Throne World is, but whatever. Bizarro showed up, and then he ate everybody's food. And then...
Like all the food.
And then he went into a food coma, laying atop the plates. And he's like holding his stomach, but he's also eaten so much that he is now a cube.
Yeah, he's literally like he is like a rectangle.
And he's just like laying there. At first I thought he was dead. I was like, oh no, what happened to Bizarro?
And he doesn't say anything.
No, he stays like this for the rest of the book.
Yeah. He shows up on Throne World, which...
I don't know why.
So Throne World, I think, is the home of Prince Gavin, who is one of the many incarnations of Starman. That's who this guy is here, who looks like the Booster Gold inverted palette glasses.
Yeah.
That's Starman. I'm not sure, no, he has the same kind of palette.
Yeah.
But, color palette. But, he's Starman. And again, another character. Why the fuck is he here?
No.
But, there he is.
Yeah.
So he showed up and did that. Now we're back on Rann.
Yeah, they're like, oh, hey, fucking Bizarro ate all our food, but at least he didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
So now we're back on Rann, where...
Command and Rann.
I don't know what's going on. Like, there's dudes talking, and they all have, like, stubble.
Yeah, they're all stubbly.
Hawkman is there. Hawkman has shoulder hair, which is very lovingly drawn.
Oh, yeah, he's always been very hirsute.
I know, but can we talk about, like, how somebody had to sit there and just very carefully, like, render each little hair.
The inker, Inker has work cut out. Your inker got this sheet from Brown Lemon, was like, fuck. Really, bro?
Fuck.
I gotta do all these fucking... Does he need all this hair?
No. So, like, Captain Comet and
He's like Scott Hall, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Like, they meet each other, and they shake hands. There's also a dog here.
Yeah, I don't know who this dog is.
Yeah, we gotta talk about... It's like a bulldog, but he talks.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's supposed to be. I'm sure he's supposed to be something.
Sorry.
So they're like, hey, glad you're here. You're here to, like, fight these horrible people. And they're fighting Thanagarians, except for some reason Hawkman is on their side.
That's what I don't understand. It's funny because later on there's a beatdown of
yes.
I'll just jump. Well, maybe just jump around here, but there's a beatdown of Hawkman. And they make it as if like he's one of those, they don't realize he's a Thanagarian or he's like an outsider. I'm like, yeah, he's like the most Thanagarian character ever.
He's wearing his shit. Like, it's not like you can't tell with his, like, I like how the Thanagarian symbol, like in the middle of his chest, kind of looks like the Thundercat symbol.
Oh yeah, it's always looked like that.
It always looks like that. So anyway, they show up and then Captain Comet's like, whoa, what the fuck? The Weird, what are you doing here? And the Weird's like, hey.
Yeah.
How's it going?
The Weird is there, and the Weird, if you don't know what he looks like
he's got a bulging eyeball.
He's a black and he's a red and black ninja looking guy.
Yeah, his outfit is red and black, and his one eye has insane eyelashes, but it's like bulging, and then like the other one is normal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's weird.
He's literally the Weird.
And he's like, hey.
And Captain Comet's like, oh, we're linked, I guess. And they're like, what?
He's like, we'll talk about it later. He's like, because we can't really talk about it because there's a bunch of headless dinosaurs.
Yes.
There's headless ones, but like, I guess dinosaurs have been like appearing.
So what's been going on is some like, sort of temporal.
Rift,
it's one of those
breach.
Books. It's one of those books. It's one of those like time space continuum books where like
there's a breach.
And
dinosaurs come through, but like the picture that Adam Strange, like he does like a hologram coming out of his hand, and the picture that's drawn is like a T-Rex on its side with like no head and just like blood coming out of it.
It's very it looks like a ketchup bottle.
Again, the second favorite panel in this book. Fat Bizarro and bloody dinosaur.
Yeah.
And then the Weird's like, hey, just FYI, I took this thing off of the Thanagarians, and they're like, oh no, it's an EIC medallion, because there's also this weird religion that's going on.
Yeah.
It's called the Eternal Light Corporation Church. And
they worship Lady Styx. I think, right?
Wait, I think this is another one.
Oh, this is another.
This is a different
So
church.
who worships Lady Sticks?
There's a different one. There's two religions, I think.
There's the Lady Sticks religion, and there's this light corporation one.
This light corporation church. So there's there's like a religious element to this too, because there's
it's called the Holy War.
Everyone on Rann is worshiping Lady Sticks.
They worship the band Styx.
Yeah, they worship the band Styx.
Who had the song called Lady.
Everybody there is stuck in 1985.
Dennis DeYoung is their, he's their guy.
And so they're like, ugh, man, this sucks. Man, this sucks. So then they go to deep space, where we're back with whatever that guy's name is. Starman, I think.
Starman.
Yeah.
We'll call him Starman.
And there's all these ships. Oh, shit.
All these ships show up around his base.
And he's like, oh, no, why are all those ships?
And he's with the human bullet for some reason.
Yeah,
again, with the fucking losers.
Yeah. And then those ships shoot at Starman's ship, and it explodes. And then we're back on Rann, and then, like, as Hawkman and Captain Comet, Adam Strange.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. They both have the same basic outfit. Are walking down a hallway.
Well, here's the thing. Adam Strange looks like all these other guys on Rann. Like, he has, like, this uniform outfit that kind of is similar to that, because he's, like, but I don't know how you tell apart.
I don't know.
Yeah, or just, like, it's, like, a military thing or whatever, because he's the Earth guy that shows back up, in this this planet and stuff. I don't really. Adam Strange is not something I'm interested in. So go ahead.
So they're like, he's walking down the hallway with Hawkman. And they're like, do, and all of a sudden these two jobbers come around the corner with Tigor tied to a stick.
Yeah. So Tigor is basically a Tigor man.
Yeah, and
I think he's a feline man.
He's like, Tigor. He's like, hey, Strange, how's your dick? Like, literally says, how's it hanging? He's like, what's going on? We hate this guy. But didn't you defeat Lady Styx with the rest of the Omega Men? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, if I let you go, will you help us? And he's like,
I got Mr. Roboto after them.
Yeah. If he's like, well, if you hook me up with like an aspirin and some coffee, you got yourself a deal.
Oh, man.
Like, all right. So they let him go. And then Captain Comet's like, I don't know if I like this. We should get out of here. And his dog friend, who apparently he has a dog friend who talks to him, is like, where are you going to go?
This dog friend is like very like verbose.
Yeah.
He's funny.
All right,
he's a funny dog.
He's a very funny dog, but I don't understand.
I don't understand why he's there. There's probably, again, the weird is there. There's this dog here. Apparently there's stuff that went on in the first two issues of this book, and probably some other shit that I didn't bother to read.
Yeah.
That has to do with reasons why all these people are together and what the hell's going on.
Right.
So anyways, so they're back. So we keep
jumping.
We keep jumping. No, there's actually, it's funny because there's a space called Hardcore Station.
Yeah,
I think that's the state. I think that's
that's where they film porn. So basically, they're going to the valley.
They're going to Van Nuys.
They're going to go in Van Nuys, where they film all the porn. So that's what Hardcore Station is. That's the entire town of Van Nuys.
It's the Rann Thanagarian porno war.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of people there talking. I don't know what they're talking about. It doesn't matter. Then we're back on Rann, and some guy is basically crucified upside down on a pyramid.
Yep.
That happened.
That happens. And so then they're having this meting. Okay, this is actually kind of funny.
With the headless dinosaur.
So they're having this meeting. They got the hologram with the headless dinosaur. For some reason, there's a monkey.
I'm assuming that sure, it's Grodd.
Is that Grodd?
No, I don't know. Why not?
Sure, Grodd.
Yeah, Grodd. Big monkey.
It could be Monsieur Mala.
Sure.
From
it's
Doom
monkey.
Patrol. It's one of those monkey parties.
Yeah, it could be Ultra Humanite.
And yeah, it could be any of those guys. And
it's
they're
a
like,
monkey.
And they're like, well, we got to have like a task force of some sort. And like the weird is like, we should give ourselves names. They're like, fuck you.
Yeah, the weird's like, we should name ourselves just like the Justice League names ourselves. And everybody's like, no.
They're like, look, we're not all friends. Nobody likes each other here.
Yeah.
Although I do think it's funny because there's one part where Starfire is like, hey, did you tell your wife that I came with you? And he's like, no.
Oh yeah, he's talking to Animal Man.
He's talking to Animal Man about this for some reason, like they again, I need to find out exactly how this all plans out.
Yeah.
Animal Man comes from fucking wherever it is. He gets resurrected from the Vertigo universe, and then he just starts hanging out with Starfire. Where's Dick?
I don't know. I have no idea why these people. I don't know why all these people got enlisted in this war. And then there's this other guy who's there, and I don't actually know what his name is.
Who? Which one?
This bald guy with the green glasses.
Oh, he's like a doctor. I don't give a...
He's like Dr. So-and-so, but
Dr. Glasses.
He is dedicated to the religion of Lady Stick.
Oh, that's right. He's the zealot guy.
He's a zealot, basically. He's always trying to spread the word, and like he's trying to talk to the weird, and the weird's like, it's too weird for the weird.
He's like, nah, man.
He's like, nah, man.
He does this multiple times. He's like, hey guys, all right, I'm here to help you. By the way, have you heard about salvation?
And everybody's
Lady
like,
Sticks,
nope.
and yeah, okay, all right.
And so then on Hardcore Station, I don't know, there's something going on.
Yeah, it just keeps jumping. So we can just go.
It's just, I don't
See,
even
we're
know
back
what's
to
going
Rann.
on. We're back to Rann, and all of a sudden there's a volcano because it somehow came through the rift.
Yep. And then we get a Vanity Fair shoot.
Oh yeah.
Which is this like connected to like more stuff? Because
this is a whole poster.
Where's the rest of it?
It's not in here, but there is a whole poster of this. I'm sure everybody has seen it. It's I'm trying to remember who drew it. I'll remember because I know the story behind this is like it's basically all the women in the DCU and they're all in white except for Catwoman on the very end who's in black.
She's got a white wrap.
I know,
but
she
cat.
wasn't supposed to be in here.
No,
that was the whole thing. God damn it, I can't remember his name. She wasn't supposed to be in here, and he kept pushing for her to be in there, and DC kept saying no. So he did draw her in, and it got too late, and at the very last minute, so he colored her dress black because they didn't have time to like do all the colorizing and whatever. So he did her dress black and like sent it off.
Why would she not be in there?
Well, I don't know if DC didn't want her in there, and then so he says he thinks that she's in black because that's just the way Selena would be if she found out that she wasn't supposed to be invited to a photo shoot where everybody else wore white. So she said, fuck it, and wore black.
That didn't bother me at all, to be honest.
No, I like it. But honestly, if you see the rest of it, because it does go out that way longer, because we only have 2 pages here. Is it Adam Hughes? Maybe. I don't know. Everybody else is in white, save Catwoman.
Well, she has other white things.
Yeah. So anyway.
After that aside, we go. I don't even know. We're back. Starman's floating around in space.
Yeah, Starman lived through the destruction of his ship, but nobody else did. Everybody else is dead.
Yeah,
congratulations.
You win.
You win.
And then we go back to Hardcore Station, and then so there's these guys. There's these dudes. So there's this main villain guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Sinner.
I hate comic books.
Pronounced Sinner, but it is spelled Synnar.
I know it's
Sinner.
pronounced that way, and I hate it. I know, and I knew that.
Big,
but
growly devil-looking motherfucker.
Yeah,
and he's huge.
He's got giant muscles. He's been bench pressing. He's a member of the 200 Club. He could do
2000 Club.
2000 Club. 2-ton Club.
2-ton Club.
Yeah, look at this guy. He looks like that.
He looks like the side of a wall. Like this dude is like the side of a fucking barn. He's that big. He's just this giant mass of humanity.
And then like Sinner's here.
Sinner, and it's spelled with a Y because fuck this guy. He really should have been a 90s character, but here it is in 2008.
2008, Jim Starlin was like, "Hey, yeah, it'd be a good name."
I don't know if
he's
been around before, but
I feel like he was influenced by wrestler names at the time with WWE.
Actually, that sounds like a
because if WWE, if this guy were to be like in this farm system, and they're like, we're going to bring you up to the main roster, he'd be named Sinner.
Well, and Vince would be like, I'm so hard because he's huge and his name is Sinner.
We're going to give him the crucifix slam.
God.
All of his moves are going to be crucifix.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like, you've been absolved of your sins. And, and the fans are going to be like, boo, religion. And then John Cena, and this 2008.
No, you know what they're going to do? They would bring back Shawn Michaels to fight this guy.
Well, Shawn Michaels was still around at this time, actually.
No, I'm saying if they brought him up today.
Oh, if today, yeah. Today.
And God would come back down.
That's right, because God,
like they did that one time.
God was into wrestling, and yeah, they bring back all the Friar Ferguson, all the religious wrestling characters would come back.
Yep.
It's the WWE Thanagar Holy War.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with WWE.
Everything.
So
he comes back and he's like, haha.
Yeah, he's like, here I am. And then, so we're back on Rann, and they're like, we have a plan to go down to a planet.
Oh, okay. And
so they're like, all right, well, we're out. Weird zealot dude hang out with dog while we're gone. And so they disappear. And then the zealot's like, hello, dog. Or he says, dog. And dog says, the name is Tyrone.
That's right, Tyrone the dog.
And he says, have you heard the word of Lady Styx? He says, yeah, she enslaves and eats people. And he says, another infidel I see. And the dog goes, I'm proud of it. So there's jokes. Oh, so they're on Hardcore Station. And
Hardcore Station.
Hardcore Station.
So they go to Hardcore Station.
Go there, and then all the people who were there,
because it's like a space station, like a hub. It's like Downtown Crossing in Boston.
Yeah, sure. It's like, you know, that place in Star Wars where everybody goes to drink.
Mos Eisley, spaceport.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but they're not moving. They're just standing there. Nobody's talking or anything because they've all been brainwashed. There's a dude being, you know, the crucifix guy. I think that's another crucifix.
It's a different thing. Yeah, they're just pasting guys on these metal things. And...
Yeah, they're crucifying dudes on pyramids. So they go cut this dude down, and he's like, "Oh, sinner, sinner," and then that guy shows up, and I don't know what the fuck that guy's name is. What is that guy's name?
Not Darkseid. That's what he is.
Yeah, not Darkseid. I'm sure there's like a name for this guy.
Who cares?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I really do. I mean, it probably does, but I don't really feel like...
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. It's like... He keeps saying Sinner, but this really... Maybe it is Sinner.
No, it's not Sinner. Sinner's the guy that looks like Scott Hall.
No, he's like... Years back, there was this alien named Sinner Max had a dust up with. That's who you're talking about, pal? And he goes, Sinner. And he goes, it is. And then that's that weird guy. I don't know. Whatever. So he's an energy being. They try to attack him. He disappears. And all he leaves is like his weird fucking costume. And then everybody's like, oh, Animal Man, Starfire, go look for...
Animal Man, Starfire, do something, because why are you here?
Some sort of like low-level energy or whatever. They're like, oh, there's somebody else here, so they're off to do it. But whatever. Doesn't matter.
How is Animal Man tapping into the red, you know, for all these animals? Like, when they're on space? Like, is he tapping into, like, space animals?
It's just that dog.
But if he was just tapping the dog, he would be able to fly.
Or what's his name? Tybor or whatever?
Well, Tybor can't fly. Maybe, he has to be able to tap into like birds.
Maybe he's sucking the energy out of Starfire.
She's not an animal.
Well, I mean, technically, humanoid creatures are all animals.
Okay.
I mean, let's get real
whatever his explanation is not.
He can fly.
It's not
whatever it is, he can fly.
He shouldn't be able to, though.
No, he shouldn't be able to. And then Sinner shows up.
With
like two. I don't like trash can.
They look nesting dolls.
They look like nesting dolls with arms, and they're here to fight.
It looks like BB-8 on steroids.
It's BB-8 if BB-8 had arms and legs. and then there's evil. That weird guy, not Darkseid. And they're like, we're gonna fight. And they're like, oh no. And then I like how Captain Comet's face is my favorite because he looks so... Everybody else is ready to fight. And he looks like he wants to run away.
Because he kind of says something to that effect.
He does. He looks like... He's like,
we're all going to be turned into zombies, which I think is pretty funny. You know, not just being dead, but they're going to be killed and then brought back to life.
Yeah.
That's where he's going with this. And, you know, maybe. I don't know.
And like... So then it says deep space, and it's like, oh, everything's going from bad to worse. I recognize the emblem on those ships, the ones that blew up Starman's ship.
Yeah.
From a notice that the Green Lantern Corps sent out.
Yep.
That fleet belongs to Lady Styx. Oh no! So then we go back.
Call Mr. Roboto.
Yeah. So we go back to Rann, and Rann is
a bag of cheese doodles. Sorry. I just noticed that somebody left a bag of cheese doodles here in the studio.
Shawn might eat them.
No, I won't eat them. They're probably like...
Don't touch them.
Those are...
Don't touch them.
Those are staff doodles.
Yeah, don't touch them. So, we're back on Rann, and, like, there's this, the zealots, like, preaching to this whole group, and they're like, Lady Styx is a killer, blah, blah, blah.
Come sail away.
We need to go kill all those stupid Thanagarians because they're infidels, and then Hawkman's just like, hey, no, let's not kill them because that's genocide. And everybody's like, wait a second, you're a Thanagarian. And they beat the fuck out of him. It becomes a Donald Trump rally where they attack any protester in the crowd and start shoving. But this time they beat him down. So
that's how it ends, right?
That's yeah. Oh yeah. And the lady in purple, who we don't know who she is like, oh no, I need to find somebody to help me. The end.
I think it's Alana.
Alana, whatever.
Alana.
Oh no. The Donald Trump rally turned violent.
I do like that he's like, hang on, guys, don't kill Thanagarians because I am Thanagarian myself. And it's like, well, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you.
I mean, it's a weird like thing.
It's weird. It's like I don't know why they didn't like. he's been standing, like literally he was standing there the entire time. And then it just took him to be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't kill everybody. And then it was like, break his legs. And then they kill him. What's that? Do you remember that Simpsons where like there's when Mr. Burns is like the alien?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, I bring you love. It's like, it brings us love. Break his legs.
Kill it. Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much how this book ends. And that's it for Rann Thanagar Holy War, number 3 from September 2008.
Yeah.
Would you read the next issue?
I actually would.
I think I would too. Actually,
I'm going to try to find the
after
rest
kind of going through this, I think
it's weird as shit.
And it's like there's 8 issues, so it's not
right. I'm not getting into like a 50 issue fucking.
I'm already into that with Quasar.
Yeah. It's not a nightmare of just convoluted. I mean, it is a nightmare of convoluted bullshit, but it's not a 50 issue nightmare.
No,
it's only an 8 issue, and I would totally read the rest.
And there's some like strange random characters in it. And I am intrigued by that. So
I like the weird.
Yeah, the weird.
I don't understand the weird.
Nobody does. I don't even know why. I mean, seriously, it's like he's only there because I think Jim Starlin wrote the miniseries, and he was like, "Can I bring like all these other jerks in that I haven't used in like years?" From DC, because I was a Marvel guy and I made all these other guys, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, bring them in, throw them all there."
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I would love it if they made a Lego Rann Thanagar Holy War downloadable.
If they just made one world, just a little world. For
Animal Man should be in that game, anyways, in my opinion.
Is he not?
No, he's not.
Oh, that's not cool.
No, you know why? You know why? Because they don't put certain people in there. Is because their reasoning is because if you go to look up those characters, like if kids were like, "Hey,"
I get it. So that's why maybe like Constantine wouldn't.
Well, Constantine's not there because he smokes and he's
Well, he's fucking Constantine.
He's Constantine.
Yeah. So they don't want him to find maybe some of the more adult things, but then Batman shouldn't be in there either.
Oh, there's some people in there there's some people that should not have be anywhere near that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, Lobo.
Yeah, I mean, if that's really they're like, oh no, they're too adult a character, you could make that. Starfire's in that fucking game. You could make that argument for any of the characters. Yeah. Like Batgirl's in there. Some kids gonna be like, oh, the Killing Joke has Batgirl in it. Read this.
I think it's my favorite book. It'll make me laugh.
Yeah, no.
No. Yeah, no. That's kind of how that pans out, but
it's a very arbitrary guideline.
It is, and I think I wonder if they did the same for the Marvel games too, but maybe because obviously Disney's involved too, so there's probably something with that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But anyways, that's it for Rann Thanagar. Jesus Christ, I hate this title. Whatever, that book we just read. Rann Thanagar Holy War, and we'll be back with the next one. All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever here on Sideshow Network, and we are back with our next book. It is
Quasar.
Why can't I say his name?
I don't know.
He's like my favorite.
Here's what happened. You started saying Quasar because you thought it was funny, and now you're stuck and you can't get out of it.
It's Quasar, Volume 1, number 50, from September 1993. So yeah, Quasar.
There you go.
And I keep saying it. So Quasar, and it's number 50, which means, and it's the 90s, which means you are getting a fancy cover because it's the 25, 50, 75 when you kind of like, or like the anniversary issues or whatever, you get nice covers.
Yeah, it's all shiny.
And this one is it's a holographic, shiny cover, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
it's the quantum-sized issue, 50th issue. So, oh man.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it. We have on the first page not Quasar in his own book, but Man-Thing.
Man-Thing.
Motherfucking Man-Thing is here, and he talking about how he is, because anytime Man-Thing shows up, you have to have like all this prose and all this bullshit going on about him.
About, Man-Thing, he lives to do this, or whatever.
He doesn't know what he's doing, but he does it. Why does he do it? We don't know. Who is he? Why? We know who he is, but how did he become this way? Why is he this way? Just all these damn questions.
Whatever.
Man-Thing.
He's there. That's all you need to know.
Man-Thing's there. And, by the way, the story of this, the title of this story
That's right. I remember this now.
The title of the story is Horizon of Holes.
Which sounds like a porno set on a boat.
Yes. It sounds like a
Head towards the horizon of holes.
It sounds like
it's just like a bunch of dudes just like mounted to the front of a ship with their dicks out. Just like trying to fuck all the holes on the horizon.
It sounds like
that's what's happening.
Okay, it sounds like
I should work in porn.
It sounds like a maritime.
Like write them.
Okay, hang on. So it's a maritime porno.
Oh, fucking them. Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to make that clear. That's what I was talking about.
You could be like Brian the dog from Family Guy.
Oh yeah.
He wrote pornos and became like it was apparently the best porno everybody somebody read, which you know, guys, that would never happen.
Okay, you're saying?
What was I gonna say?
Maritime porno.
Okay, so it's a maritime porno. That is it maritime? Is that the right word?
Are you talking about on the sea?
Yeah.
Then yes.
It's a maritime porno that is set in like explorer times because they're like
back in like the
so like so it's like
we're talking Columbus,
Magellan, America, Vespucci.
Yeah,
he's there. They're all there, and they're all with their dicks out, and they're headed towards the holes in the horizon.
Yeah, and they're gonna fuck them.
And
they did. I mean, if you really want to. If you want to take this metaphor pretty far, if you want to say that the new world is the holes, and that they completely fucked it, then you're right.
I feel bad.
They killed a lot of Native American people.
Yeah, they did.
Or Native people, depending on where they landed. Not just Americans.
Real quick, I want to go back and say that I feel bad about saying that a porno couldn't be good.
I mean, I'm sure a porno can be great.
Yeah, no, I said because I feel like there's people that probably listen to the show that are in the porn industry, and I don't want to discredit them.
No, I'm sure porns can be great. I believe I should write for porns. I mean, I know how to write some snappy, like, "Hey, is your husband home? I'm the plumber" dialogue. So
plumbers are passe. We're talking about tech. We're talking about the Geek Squad guys now.
That's so right. Like they show up in that little fucking bug, and they're
like, I hope I don't have sex today. Oh, I'm totally having sex. Anyways,
how about I give you some RAM?
Mind if I run my HDMI cable through this?
Oh, you have a female adapter. Good thing I have the male adapter. I don't know.
They don't do music anymore in pornos.
I know. It's just fucking and like
it's just fucking and yelling.
Like that.
Just a lot of talking and a lot of and then occasionally somebody else runs in and yells. I feel like there's a lot of yelling.
Some dude just like runs through, just like
like because it's a part of the plot where it's like
I don't think a lot of pornos have plots anymore.
No, they're just like compilations.
Yeah, I think it's just like, you end up with Bang Bros, and it's just like, who should we pick up off the street this time and fuck in the back of this van? Ha ha ha. And then they do, and then they leave her on the side of the road and they drive away. Even though that's all set up.
Well, I know it's all set up.
Don't think that's real, but like
I used to have friends. I used to think that was real.
It's not real.
I was like, how would this be real? That could they obviously these guys just driving around with no license plate. These girls are writing down license plates totally.
Of course. Yeah. It's just like every girl that they just happen to pick up is totally into like riding their dicks.
And they're like it's like,
and also dressed like porn stars and like shaved up like porn stars with like no.
And they're driving around
and none of them wear underwear.
Yeah, and then they're driving around and it's like it just happens. It's like, well, this is Van driving around Van Nuys or St. Petersburg or wherever the fuck it is. Spring break. It's like you don't think the cops are following them around like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, no, of course it's not real,
guys.
Not real. Anyway,
movies aren't real.
So in this book, The Horizon of Holes, it is not about fucking.
No.
It's about Man-Thing, and there's a bunch of
okay. Because here's the reason why it's called Holes.
Well, because it's a hole in the space-time continuum. Here we are again.
Right, but the space-time continuum because Man-Thing is a predictor of the nexus of realities. Yep. Or the passageway to the nexus of all realities.
Right.
But for here on Earth, which is also just happens to be in like Citrusville, Florida.
Of course it does.
Mm-hmm. And that's why Man-Thing he's like the guy.
Yeah.
And
that's
also
his job. His job is to protect this weird thing.
Mm-hmm. And for some reason, like a bunch of other mystic folks are here right now.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is here. Dr. Druid is here.
But they're not like here. It's just pictures of them because
they're not there.
They're not there with.
Well, what are they doing here then?
It's just
they feel. Don't they like feel something or something?
They feel something's happening, but they're not with Man Thing in the swamp.
Okay, so something's going on with this nexus here.
And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Some bullshit's going on, and
there's a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, Man Thing's kind of like doing, and everybody, all the mystic people are like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
So now we're here back in. We're in New York.
Yeah.
And so
I need some explanation.
Okay, I'll explain this because I've been reading these leading up to this. So basically, this girl here. The short hair girl is Kayla Ballantyne. Kayla is
just got done working out.
Yeah, she got done doing the 90s workout.
Yeah, she's wearing leg warmers and like a bikini bottom over tights.
Yeah, she's wearing like the Borat outfit over like regular tights and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
over, like a purple bodysuit. Anyway, go ahead.
So she's basically. So what happened was she's been around in this book forever.
Yeah,
and she was Quasar's secretary, and something happened where she was attacked by some villain of Quasar's and got sucked into like this space portal, and along with her was this woman Heather Steckley, who is who was also pretending to be an associate of Quasar because Quasar in in his Wendell Vaughn identity runs like a securities firm, that he has as a front to just basically, so he has a place to be,
right?
So he can go off and do Quasar shit, and
right.
He used to keep Eon, his space celery, behind a bookcase, and all these people would, it was in Fantastic Four, in the Freedom Plaza or the Baxter Building, or whatever. So a lot of weird shit would go down that building, and Quasar hasn't been back to his office in forever because he sucks. So something happened where, Kayla got sucked into one of these portals along with this Heather girl, and they were on this planet, and something, but what happened? Okay. But before that happened, I'm gonna try to get what?
But I don't think that matters for what's going on in this book.
Well, but it does, because I'm trying to. You don't know who this is.
No, but I don't need to know who that is, because this is what I don't understand. Okay.
Okay. Well, tell me what you don't understand.
All right. So we've got this woman, and she's really upset because her roommate seems to have taken, and this is where I don't get it, because it says, secretary from Staten Island had until mere moments ago been possessor of the Star brand,
right.
A tattoo from the distant universe bestowing untold power. Feeling she had used its power irresponsibly, she sought to get rid of it by any means necessary. It's a fucking tattoo.
Okay, so here's
so she gave it to Holly, who turned out not to be her friend, but instead dark and sinister, and then I can't even say this.
Yeah, she has a name that
Eshkel.
Susie Essman.
What I don't understand is how the fuck you give someone else a tattoo.
So what happened was, okay.
I can't give you the tattoo off of my body and give it to you.
I know you can't.
That's what doesn't make sense to me. I don't care about all that other shit you were just telling me.
This
tattoo.
This brand thing. Basically what happened was Quasar came back from like some...
Right, he explains it later.
Yeah, he gave her a hug.
Yeah, and it got stuck on the back of her neck.
Yeah.
Right, but it's because it was in his gauntlet. So
yeah.
I could understand that it would probably like burn into her skin or something. But a tattoo or a brand is burned or inked into somebody's skin. You can't take it off and give it to someone else.
Apparently this is a thing because it just kind of, it's easily removed.
Well, that's bullshit.
It's weird.
If it was like a necklace, I'd get it. But we're talking a tattoo here.
Right.
But anyway, so there's power. This woman has power. And she's like, haha, I totally fucked you over.
So she does a heel. This Heather girl, Heather does a heel turn and she becomes the pale demon.
Yeah, and she got big old wings, and she's like, haha, that's awesome. And she's like, so I totally duped you. I'm out.
I'm out.
And so she leaves.
And Kayla feels really bad.
And Kayla feels bad. So then we go to Warlock and his civilian, Quasar. They're all the same to me.
They're both blonde.
They're both blonde cosmic guys.
Blonde cosmic guys.
So we go
in the horizon of holes.
Quasar's in the hospital with his mom, who apparently is recovering from cancer.
Yes.
So he's excited, and he's
like shouting at his mom. It's kind of funny.
He really is. He's like, yeah, mom.
He's like, way to go, mom!
Yeah, you beat that cancer. High five, woo, America!
I've got a ponytail.
Yeah, he really. It's bad. Actually, his hair is really bad. So the nurse leaves, and his mom's like, he's like, Mom, is there anything I can do for you? And she's like, show me what you look like in the outfit.
Yes.
It's like really creepy. And he's like, all right, Mom. And he just like starts modeling for her. And he's like, don't you like my new outfit? And she's like, oh, it's so much nicer than the other one. Really creepy.
Which, to be honest, it didn't look that much different from the other one.
No, he just has dumber hair.
His cape has the space in it.
Yeah, space. So he's like, all right, Mom, I'll see you. And then he just like flies out.
I like how he runs out and he just yells, bye.
Yeah. He's like, bye, Mom. And so like he starts like talking into, I'm assuming, his communicator.
He's talking to Epic, who is so Eon died and gave birth to Epic, who is like a smaller space celery baby,
which basically is just like a head with like an eye, and it's a tumor basically.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah,
Epic is
it's a talking tumor.
Eon and Epic are just gross as shit, but they're together.
And he's like, I better go to my office because I haven't been there in a long time. And so he gets there, and then short-haired girl, Kayla, who gave the tattoo to the other girl, is like, oh my God, it's you. I'm so happy it's you. And like she hugs him, and then she tells him what's going on.
Yeah, she basically tells him what's going on. And there's a bunch of...
She's like, so by the way, when I had that thing, I think I killed somebody.
Yeah, so what happens?
And I put them at the bottom of the East River, just FYI.
It's kind of like a very like mob death, but it's totally like, but it's actually it's a very cosmic occurrence that happens to be described as a mob death, which I kind of like. But basically, when she had the Star Brand, she fought her, who is like the female Adam Warlock.
Okay,
and she
Quasar.
No, female Adam Warlock.
Okay, just checking.
Because she was created in the same way.
Oh, right.
And she defeated her, and basically, like Adam Warlock, she, her, or Kismet.
Is in like a cocoon.
She came into a cocoon. She's in the bottom of the water. Yeah.
So Quasar's like, oh, I better go check. And so he like goes in the water, and he goes into the East River, which poor guy probably has his face melted off from all the pollution.
Well, he just covers himself in his cosmic juice.
Cosmic juice. And he's like, oh, no, she's still alive. It's cool. We're just going to leave her here. So they leave her.
She's convalescent. It's all good, guys.
And, like, he goes up and he's like, Kayla. And he's like, oh, my God, aren't you going to take her out? I was like, nah.
Nah, man.
She's like, okay. But he's like, I have to go.
They do pick her up later.
Yeah, they do. And he's like, well, I have to go down to Florida, I guess. Like, how do they figure out to go to Florida?
Because
she told her about the crazy roommate who stole the tattoo in some weird. She must have cut it off her skin.
No, she didn't cut off her skin. They wiped it on her. It was like
it is not a stamp. It is a tattoo.
No,
this isn't a club stamp where she just got one and she's like, here, I'm going to let all my friends in without paying. Lick, lick, lick. Smash, smash, smash.
That's how it goes.
This cosmic bullshit doesn't work that way.
Well. It sure did.
So a tattoo in space is just a fucking club stamp.
It sucks because Mark Grunwald, who wrote this, is no longer with us. So I can't be like, bro, what were you thinking?
What's going on with the stamp? The tattoo stamp is like a temporary tattoo.
Basically, it's like henna tattoos, but
they don't rub off on other people usually. But whatever. So we're back to like Demon Wing Lady, who's like,
she's in Florida.
She's like, dude, I hate Florida. It sucks. And you're like, yeah, I know, because it's fucking Florida. And so
we have fans of Florida.
Hi, Florida.
Actually, I should check our numbers and see if we have any people.
No one listens to this show.
Yeah, they do.
No one listens.
Everybody in Duluth, Minnesota, listens to this show. We've talked about this.
That was Minneapolis.
Minnesota, Minneapolis. It's like the Twin Cities are into us.
Is Duluth part of the Twin Cities?
Did I say Duluth?
You did. Are you talking about St. Paul?
No, it was St. Paul. It's somewhere in Minnesota.
Okay.
People are really into our show.
All right, cool.
By really into, I mean there are hundreds of listeners.
There's like 4 people, and they just download a bunch of times because they're really nice. Maybe they have a bunch of different devices.
But they're going out of their way to do it.
Could you do that? Like, could you up your numbers? I know this would be a ridiculous thing to do, but if you had like a whole fucking warehouse full of iPads that were just scheduled to download your fucking podcast.
Well, yeah, you could do. I'm sure you could do that because those all count as separate
downloads,
separate devices.
Oh man. I think I figured out a way to hack podcasting.
Yeah,
I'm disrupting the industry.
Get thousands of iPads and have them all download
hundreds of thousands of dollars so you can get an advertiser who might pay you tens
for
of
those of you
dollars.
folks out there that listen to.
You could make tens of dollars if you spend hundreds of thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, what a return!
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you could because you'd be like, look, all these episodes, because I think Yeah, it would just be a lot of because then you have to get the advertisers.
Well, they'd totally be on board because look how many fucking downloads we just got.
Sure,
But
Sure
then
they would.
we would make tens of dollars.
Sure they would.
We could just go buy more comics and we'd still be in the hole. I'm a smart financial planner.
I'm the richest man podcasting. I should.
No, you're not. So she's like, do Florida. And as she's going along the swamp, Man-Thing like comes out and like grabs her.
Man-Thing comes out and grabs. Does she blow him up here?
Yeah, she does.
Oh.
Which I didn't realize she blew him into pieces until later.
Yeah, she kaboomed him.
I didn't realize this until later because there's a very, very funny panel later.
Yes.
So she like puts her hands on him and he explodes. And she's like, oh, great, here's the Nexus. And she goes into this like...
She goes into basically what's the nexus of all realities, which is...
And it's just like a white area with a bunch of holes.
It is the horizon.
Yeah.
Described it. The title of this book does not fail to deliver.
No, it doesn't. It is a horizon of holes. It's kind of like playing that game. What's it called? With the pop-up game?
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole. It's what it looks like. It's just white. And
it's like a big Chuck E. Cheese.
It's a big fucking Chuck E. Cheese. And she's like, so she's like, oh, check this out. I should check out what other realities look like. So she like sticks her head into some of these holes and she's like, oh man, here's one where the rules of dimensions didn't apply because all these people are like fucking Picasso paintings.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what about this one? Oh, here's cowboys on flying jet skis chasing dinosaurs.
It's like, yep.
Like,
again, the dinosaurs too. They all have their heads though.
Yeah,
thankfully.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe she stuck her head in here. The dinosaurs came out and they wandered into this Rann Thanagar Holy War book. Because there is, and I want to say it's DC. I have to actually look this up, but I feel like DC has a thing where Marvel's just another one of the worlds.
That sounds accurate.
That's how they look at it. So it's possible.
So basically what happens is she's like, well, hey, you know what? I want everybody to know I'm here and know I'm the boss. So she shoots like some sort of like homing beacon or something into all the holes. Energy shit into all the holes. So all the protectors, people like Man-Thing will be like, hey, what's up? So as that's Happening, Silver Surfer gets wind of this.
Because he feels like some sort of weird disruption in the Force.
Yeah, and then he goes to a planet and he's like, I gotta get into one of these holes.
And it's like, hey, he's like, well, there's nobody here. Because at first he thinks it's unprotected.
Yeah.
Because it's like this dead planet. And he's like, oh, no wonder they left it unprotected. But it's not. It's this weird, multi-legged, spiky alien guy with a bunch of eyes.
Yeah, and he's like, it's funny because he's like, Silver Surfer's like, you're gonna let me by, and he's like,
yeah, this is actually one of my favorite exchanges because he's like, Silver Surfer's like, oh, and the alien pops up. He says, passage forbidden. So commands. Acalon or whatever,
Cadillac. Okay,
sure, Cadillac, and Silver Surfer. He's like, gentle being, I am the Silver Surfer. It is vital to the. I can't see this. I need glasses, guys.
Well, he says,
He says, it is vital to the continued well-being of the cosmos that you permit me to access your nexus. And he goes, not persuaded.
This guy.
Which is like my favorite fucking exchange. And then he goes, now go and zaps him off his board. Like this guy the Silver Surfer was so nice to this guy. And he's like, nope.
Yeah, Silver Surfer is pretty nice, and then because he for being a very powerful being, and he goes,
he was just like gentle being.
He's like, I implore you, let me into this club.
Yeah, he's like, hey, this is like when know the manager's probably not gonna like agree with you.
So this is what's happening. So Silver Surfer's like trying to be as chill as possible, trying to get into the club, and he's like, look, all my friends are in there.
Yeah.
Somebody said I can do this.
Yeah.
They said they were gonna leave me at the door, and I'm here, and like I don't have my phone, I can't call them.
Right.
But like I'm here. Can you just let me in? Yeah. I'll go find them. And he's like,
no. Access denied.
Access denied. Get to the go to another.
Go to the back of the line.
Go to the back of the line. You pay like everybody else.
Right.
And then we'll judge you like everybody else is at the end of that line.
Yeah.
So anyway, after she shoots us these beams into these holes, all the Guardians start coming out to inspect, and we have some cameos here. We
sure do, because we've got like a bunch of these little Guardians, and they're all weird looking. But one of them happens to look like Starro.
Yeah. Which by the way is not surprising because Quasar in a previous issue had like a cameo from the Will Payton Starman, like as like in like kind of like a scene like this here where he just
like in the background.
He just shows up, and I'm like, and I went, I think I took a picture of it. I went, hey, you can't do that, can you?
Apparently they can, because there's like a Starro, but then my favorite one is Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, actually Ren and Stimpy.
Actually, they're drawn a little weird, but it's obviously Ren and Stimpy.
Their colors are a little bit different. And the thing is, though, here's the thing. At the time, Marvel was doing a Ren and Stimpy comic.
Okay.
So that's why it didn't really surprise me as much.
It's not really weird.
Yeah, because they were doing like Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead. Like, I'm surprised Beavis and Butthead didn't show up here.
That would have been funny.
That would have been really funny.
They probably should have.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so these...
she's like, hey, guys, you are all working for the corporate overlords. How about we form a union and overthrow them? That's basically her idea.
Yeah.
It's because she even says it's going to be like owned by us or whatever, like employee owned or something. Like, I forget exactly how she puts it. But basically, she's like, fuck these corporate overlords. It's time for us to...
She's like...
Yeah, because she's like, we're helping them stay in power. It's time for us to have the power.
She's like, I'm Bernie Sanders. Join me.
She's like...
I know that I'm probably completely off in that metaphor.
Not
but,
really.
Yeah.
Join me so we can take the power back.
And it's funny, too, because I think, like, does Ren Stimpy actually have some lines in this?
They do have lines.
But it's like... But
they have them right here on this page.
But here's the thing. But they're written, like, completely straight.
They're written, yeah.
Like, it's not like, gee, Red, whatever. It's like they look like they're taking this job very seriously.
They do take this job. Maybe that's like, in their reality, they're crazy and weird and they sell rubber walrus protectors. But in this one, they're completely straight when they're doing their actual job.
I'm just trying to imagine these lines being said by Billy West, which is fantastic. Actually, I kind of want to show this to Billy West at some point.
Maybe he'll sign it.
And maybe he'll sign it and be like, remember that time Ren Stimpy was here and you were in this Quasar book? And he's like, what?
Yeah, he's like, no, actually.
No, wait, don't. Get away from me.
So Quasar, like, goes down to Florida with his friend on a flying recliner.
So he's on, like, him and Kayla, and I'll be honest, all of this stuff up to, like, this point
doesn't
have anything to do with it, because she's just basically, like, he shows up and he sees Jennifer Kale, who is I've read the issue where they do interact with each other, and like like he's met Swamp Thing before, for some reason, Man Thing, whatever, Man Thing, and it's funny because there's like introductions, and I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So cares? She's there, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, well, I'm trying to put Man Thing back together, and she's just holding Man Thing's head, like just carrying it around the swamp, which is
gross ass,
which is hilarious but awesome.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, okay, you do that. I'm going to try to go through this nexus because obviously something's going on if he's all broken.
That's right. She's carrying this.
She carries it around for like pages. And so he tries to go through the thing, but it doesn't work. And then Wizard
from Squadron Supreme.
Basically, this Marvel's version of the Flash shows up. And
there's like a million speedsters.
Yeah, there's a million of them. So like he shows up and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm trying to go through this thing, but I can't. And then he's like, well, let me help you. Why don't we try to put Man Thing back together first? So so then we're back in like the Nexus, and there's like, and
so basically she's like, either you're against me or you're with me or against me.
With me or against me or whatever. And like we have to go to like the pole of the Nexus to like do all this power. Whatever.
Ren Stimpy are like, yo.
Yeah, we're down.
Yeah, they're down.
And then all of a sudden
they sold out.
Yes, they did. The Living Tribunal shows up.
Living Tribunal and Chaos and Order. Which I know this is...
Living Tribunal apparently is the only one who has a body? Or are they just all heads that share one body?
No.
They look like they have the Oscar body.
Yeah, the Living Tribunal doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, no, because like, see, he's like a body.
No, I know. I know he's a body.
A gap. There's a gap. See, so I'm wondering if like whoever's talking is the one whose head rotates onto the neck.
No.
That's how that should work. Because that's awesome.
Right, but here's... Okay, right. So Living Tribunal is just this here Oscar body, is one thing.
Oscar body, dude.
These are separate entities, too, that float around. They're just floating heads.
I kind of like the idea that they're all sharing. It's kind of like the Twisted Sisters who only share the one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in I think Shakespeare brings them up, and then they're like in the Iliad or something. But anyway, go ahead.
So, yeah, she shows up, and he's like, hey, we're not doing this. because he's living tribunal and he judges everything. He's kind of like one of those like cosmic characters that shows up when you need somebody to tell somebody not to do something.
Yeah.
That's why I don't quite understand. Yeah, because he just shows up and he's like, I have to be in Leo DiCaprio's dream in a minute, but I'm here now to tell you, cut it out. So
you think like Leonardo DiCaprio just had like before he got his Oscar was just like a giant picture of an Oscar over his bed?
He had a picture of the Living Tribunal.
Yeah,
over his bed.
Was that what was going on? And he would just lay there.
He wanted to play the Living Tribunal in the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
Do you think he woke up every morning and went soon? And then he like went about his day being like, I don't really need an Oscar, but like his whole bathroom is just like wallpapered with like pictures of Oscars.
Actually, it'd be really funny if everything was just wallpaper with Oscars.
And then if he lost, he just like went home and cried. And he has Oscar sheets.
But he has magazines, but like he has like one of those things where like he has like a magazine troughed by his toilet.
But it's just like he's paid some poor assistant to like literally cut out pictures of Oscars and glue them onto every page.
Yeah. That was the thing he did.
That sounds actually, that's accurate. I think that's true.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm going to say that's true.
So Silver Surfer's jumping into the fray here, and then they put back together Man-Thing. Like they literally put him together. So I think he lives.
He does. And like the minute he lives, then he has like the gate of the tribunal opens again so Quasar can go through it. So he does. So Quasar goes through and like Tribunal's like, hey lady, don't do this. And she's like, fuck you. Power to the people.
Power to the people. Bernie Sanders, whatever.
And then
Ren and Stimpy are still here for some reason.
Ren and Stimpy are still here. And then so Quasar and Silver Surfer run into each other and they're like, hey, what are you doing? You must have felt the weird shaking up of the force. And he's like, yeah, I totally did. And he's like, hey, I can't hear what the Living Tribunal and that woman are saying to each other, probably because it's not for us to hear. And so the Living Tribunal's like, I have an idea. How about we make those guys fight for us? Yeah. Like, we'll literally pick like, one of them as a chit. They're just standing here, but we're going to be like, you guys, fight.
Yeah.
And so they do. And they're like, but we're not going to tell them which one they're fighting for. They're just going to fight for us. So they don't throw the fight. And they're like, that's a great idea. And whoever wins like the power of the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's a weird.
It's a weird premise. So Living Tribunal's like beams the information into their heads.
You know what's funny too is that this is totally like just a way
to get these two to fight.
Well, first of all, just to get Silver Surfer into this book because they're like, well, hey, maybe it's Quasar's 50th book. And maybe we'll sell a few more of these. These holographic covers are very expensive. I was going
to say, he's not on the cover, though.
He's not on the cover, but they probably... Actually, I have no idea.
All right.
I am not... Because it's funny the way comic books work, like the way that they sell comics.
Yeah.
And, they base them on pre-orders and not so much like, you walk into a bookstore and you go, hey, look, that... they base it on, like, whatever. So... Yeah, so actually, that's very point. It's a very weird appearance here.
Yeah, it is. So then they start fighting each other, and Quasar puts on his armor.
So Quasar does a lot because he's basically if you're, I think we've talked about him before, but he's basically like the quantum bands are basically like the power ring.
Yeah, like a lantern ring.
Like a lantern ring, and he can basically whatever he can think of to create. Whether it's, objects or whatever out of solid light or energy he can do. And so a lot of times when he fights, I see this a lot in the books. When he fights people like a big foe or whatever,
he puts armor on.
He puts on like some sort of armor with spikes. And in this case, it looks like it's got lots of like,
it looks like a butt cage.
Yeah. It's a weird butt cage.
Like, those cock cages that they make, like, you know what I'm talking about? Where you can like lock a cock into like a cage. Like
a chicken?
Yes, like a chicken, kind of.
No, are you talking about that, or are you talking about?
No, it's talking like a penis. Like there's they're very big in the BDSM community, but you can take this thing and it's like a contraption where you put a dick and balls in it and lock it so that
I was not aware of this. I thought you were talking about an actual chicken.
I listened to Dan Savage, so I know a lot about these things, but apparently. I was not talking about an actual chicken. I would have said rooster.
You did introduce me to sounding rods.
I did.
Not physically.
No, God, no. No. I believe it was on this. Was it on this podcast?
Was it? It was something that we were talking about it, and then it was great because I got to use it in like a Instagram caption earlier, and I think I used it great.
I'm so proud. But so yeah, no, it's a cock cage, and like you can actually like lock someone's dick into it. And that's what he looks like he's wearing.
Well, that's
except it's for an ass. So they fight, And
we'll put a link to where you can buy one of these cages. I wish Adam and Eve was a sponsor. He'd be like, if you want to go buy it.
I'm surprised. I mean, no one else would ever sponsor us.
No, they wouldn't.
Maybe Casper mattresses.
Why would Casper?
Because you have sex on mattresses.
Yeah, I'd like to see our sales team here at Sideshow pitch. Be like, well, they talk a lot about fucking. Maybe they might want to, talk about fucking on a mattress. You get $50 off your order if you use a code. Fuck.
Cock cage.
Cock cage.
Yeah, something tells me that's not going to go over. So they're fighting, and then Quasar happens to notice that when Silver Surfer gets a good hit in, the Living Tribunal's head gets bigger.
No, he's talking about one of these heads.
Oh,
he's talking about I think it's Chaos's head.
Okay.
This is Chaos's order.
Okay, so someone's head gets bigger whenever
Chaos's head gets bigger
whenever Silver Surfer gets a hit in.
Wait, is he on the good or the bad? No, he's the
Silver Surfer is the champion for
the bad woman.
No,
he's a champion for Yeah,
Quasar is the champion for the bad woman.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah, so Silver Surfer isn't. Silver Surfer thinks he's on the side of the good, but he's actually not. And he notices that one of the heads gets bigger, and he's like, "Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to make it look like I'm putting up a fight, but I'm going to throw this because obviously I don't want this crazy demon woman to win." So he lets himself get basically his ass kicked by Silver Surfer. And then the woman's like, and instead of like giving over this tattoo thing to the Living Tribunal, she literally kills herself. She explodes.
Does she kill herself or he doesn't?
Yeah, no, it says right here, it's like, she did this to herself because she didn't want to give me the thing and whatever. So then they go their own ways, and Quasar was like, oh, but I really wanted to tell Silver Surfer that I threw that fight. I don't want him to think that I suck, but he doesn't get a chance to because Silver Surfer's gone.
Because Silver Surfer's like, I can get back into that club that I got bounced out of earlier.
Yeah. And so then when he shows...
Not persuaded.
So Quasar goes back to Florida, and that's when all these mystic people are there, including the Thing, which I didn't realize
actually,
the Thing was fucking mystic.
I'm looking at this cover here, and I'm like, I don't remember a reason why all these people are here. Like,
well, it makes sense if they felt like a disruption that Doctor Strange would show up and like a bunch of the other mystic guys, but like, why is the Thing here? And Spider Woman?
No, that's not Spider Woman.
Are you sure?
No, I'm sure that's Shadow Woman.
Okay, well, whatever.
Shadow Woman's here. The Mummy.
Adam Warlock is here.
Adam Warlock is here. Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Shaman.
That makes sense too. That he's here. The shaman's here.
Shaman and why am I blanking on his daughter's name?
I don't know.
Something else. Dr. Druid.
Yeah, but it makes sense for the
members. Also, these are also other members of the Squadron Supreme who are there for some reason.
What's her name again?
Moondragon.
Yeah. But like, I don't
Aquarian
know.
or AKA Jesus. Yeah, they're all here.
Yeah, but I don't know why the Thing is here.
And Human Torch is here too.
Those two don't make sense. Like, all the mystic dudes make sense to me, and then these two, they're just like, draw them in there. we need more people in this menagerie. Who's that guy?
Well, which one?
That guy.
This guy?
Yeah.
That's Hyperion. He's one of the Squadron Supreme. So that's Hyperion. That's Dr. Spectrum. This is somebody else. I think Skylark.
Sure.
And this glowing skull guy is somebody else. Yeah, there's a lot of randos in this thing here.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything. This is literally, because in the next issue, like, nothing happens with these geeks.
Yeah. So they're there, and then Quasar sees his assistant, and he's like, oh, I got my ass kicked. And she's like, oh, that's great. The end. The end.
Quasar 50 from September 1993. That's it for this book.
Would you read the next one?
I already have.
I was going to say you
I am actually very much nearing the end of the series, because there's this book goes on for another 10 issues. And it's more stuff with the Star Brand, more stuff with Kayla getting abducted, and then it's actually, spoiler alert, she actually like gets abducted, and Quasar's trying to like save her and trying to find her. She's abducted because even though she doesn't have the Star Brand anymore, for some reason it's still in her system, and she's still able to harness it. And like a bunch of these cosmic guys like want it from her. So she gets abducted, and then, she ends up on a different universe. Where the Star Brand came from. She ends up on that universe and meets a guy named Metallurge. I don't know. He's like some sort of metal guy. He's like one of those guys like, hey babe, like one of those like.
He's a Lobo.
Yeah, not like Lobo. He's like a surfer kind of guy. He's like, yo, gnarly, you're hot, yeah. And she goes, well, Quasar failed to protect me, so I'm going to stay with you. Okay. And that's how their relationship ends. And I don't know how the end of the book ends. I haven't gotten to that yet, but it's kind of a bummer, because he kind of just he just has a bunch of, so far he just has a bunch of failure happen to him, and then
maybe this is the superhero book where he doesn't win.
He's a very passive guy too, Quasar. As you read through the book, he's kind of like he's doused himself a lot.
Will things happen to him?
No, things don't happen to him.
Does he react to things instead of making things?
Well, here's the thing: he has to react because he's the protector of the universe.
I see.
Because the quantum bands were given to him so he could be that protector. Mm-hmm. So when something goes down, he goes to check it out.
I gotcha.
So he's very reactionary.
Okay, but he has to be.
But he also is one of those heroes where it's like, I got to find a way to defeat this person. I'm very, I'm nervous, I'm new, or I'm just, sometimes I'm inexperienced, but he figures it out and he gets better at it. But that's the thing about, and that's what I love about it. He does evolve, but it's still kind of a bummer because he's like, this girl, Kayla has been in since like issue 3, and she got like all this stuff happened to her and they're all into each other. And then for a couple issues, like they actually like spend time together and they go and fuck on like light structures and stuff, that he makes. And like, they're just, they're having a good time and then shit goes down. And then it just, I think she leaves him.
Well, it happens.
So yeah, but I love this book. I don't know why. It's one of those things where it's like, it's one of those heroes where it's like, more that I read it, I'm like, man, this is really good. And I kind of wish this would be like something like bigger, because for all intents and purposes, he's pretty lame. Yeah. I mean, he looks lame. Yeah. But he's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's it for the show this week. Thank you for listening. Yeah. And we will be back next week with more books. I got to figure out who to get some guests in here. Some people just to kind of record like we did with Ken.
It'll be fun.
That was a lot of fun. I think we'll try to see if we get Jackie Cation or somebody else, rad. Yeah. That would be able to come down here and tape in actual studios. Yeah. So, anyway, so that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. You can find me at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN is how you spell it, on Instagram, on Twitter, and theangryhero.tumblr.com.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, and jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
All right, folks, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.
Bye.